In June 1999, a badly decomposed body was discovered in the middle of a remote cornfield in Missouri, USA. At first, it looked like just another unexplained death. But when investigators searched the man's pockets, they found something disturbing. 2 small pieces of paper, covered in strange letters, numbers, symbols, written in a code that no one could understand. More than 20 years later, that code remains unbroken. And this case is still one of the FBI's greatest mysteries. The man's name was Ricky McCormick. He was 41 years old. He lived in St. Charles County, Missouri. Ricky lived a simple life. He worked small jobs, sometimes in factories, sometimes in temporary labor. He never stayed in one place for long. People who knew him described him as quiet, private, and withdrawn. Ricky had learning difficulties. According to family members, he struggled with reading and writing. Some even believed he was almost illiterate. He rarely wrote letters. He rarely kept notes. So when investigators later found complex coded messages in his pocket, they were shocked. How could someone like Ricky create such a complicated cipher? It didn't make sense. More than 20 years later, that code remains unbroken. And this case is still one of the FBI's greatest mysteries. On June 30, 1999, a farmer was checking his land near West Alton, Missouri. In the distance, he noticed something unusual. When he came closer, he realized it was a human body. Police were immediately called. Officers arrived at the scene. The body was badly decomposed. It had been lying there for several days. Animals and weather had damaged it. Because of this, investigators could not determine the exact cause of death. No gunshot wounds. No stab wounds. No obvious trauma. The official cause of death was listed as undetermined. But something else caught their attention. In Ricky's pockets were 2 handwritten notes. And those notes would change everything. Each note was filled with strange markings. Rows of capital letters. Random numbers. Parentheses. Dashes. No spaces. No clear sentences. No recognizable language. It didn't look like random scribbling. It looked organized. Deliberate. Intentional. Someone had carefully written this. Investigators tried to read it. They failed. Local police brought in experts. They failed too. Eventually, the notes were sent to the FBI. Specifically, to the FBI's Cryptanalysis and Racketeering Records Unit. This was the team responsible for cracking complex codes. If anyone could solve it, they could. FBI cryptographers examined the notes. They compared them with known ciphers, military codes, spy messages, criminal encryption methods. Nothing matched. They tried substitution ciphers. They tried transposition. They tried frequency analysis. Every method failed. The code did not behave like any known system. It was unique, unpredictable, and frustrating. Years passed. No breakthrough. No progress. The FBI was stuck. As the investigation stalled, agents focused more on Ricky himself. Who was he really? Was he involved in illegal activity? Did he have secret contacts? Did he owe money? Was he being threatened? Police reviewed his past. They found minor criminal records, small thefts, traffic violations. Nothing serious. No links to organized crime. No known enemies. No history of violence. Ricky seemed ordinary. Too ordinary. Which made the case even stranger. With no clear answers, investigators developed theories. Theory 1: Ricky wrote the code himself. Some believed Ricky created his own personal code. Maybe he used it as a diary. Maybe he wrote private thoughts. But critics argued he lacked the education. He lacked the skills. How could he invent such a complex system? Theory 2: someone else wrote it. Another theory suggested Ricky was only a messenger. He was carrying a coded message for someone else. And that made him dangerous. Perhaps he knew too much. Perhaps he was silenced. Theory 3: the code is meaningless. Some experts believed the notes were nonsense. Random letters with no real meaning. But this theory had problems. Why write 2 long pages of nonsense? Why keep them carefully folded? Why carry them everywhere? It didn't add up. In 2011, after more than a decade of failure, the FBI made a rare decision. They released the code to the public. They asked for help. Codebreakers, mathematicians, amateur cryptographers, anyone. Thousands of people tried. Online forums were created. Communities worked together. Some believed they were close. Some thought they had solutions. But every theory collapsed. Nothing was proven. The code remained silent. In recent years, computer algorithms have been used. Artificial intelligence, pattern recognition, statistical models. Still, no answer. Some analysts now believe the code may not be traditional encryption. It may be shorthand, personal symbols, a private language, something only Ricky understood. If that is true, the meaning may be lost forever. While everyone focused on the code, another question remained. How did Ricky die? His body was found far from his home. He had no vehicle. No witnesses saw him travel. So how did he reach that field? Who took him there? Was he already dead? Or did he die there? No one knows. Without physical evidence, the truth disappeared. This case represents something deeper. It shows the limits of technology, the limits of investigation, the limits of human understanding. Even with the FBI's best minds, some mysteries refuse to be solved. And behind every mystery is a real human life. A man who died without justice, without closure, without answers. Today, Ricky McCormick's notes are stored in FBI archives, protected, preserved, waiting for someone who might finally understand. Perhaps one day, a student, a hacker, a researcher will see something others missed. And when that happens, the code will speak. Until then, it remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in FBI history.